First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Allow respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the old four light that you guys may be sealed soon. And hopefully by the mercy and grace of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All those brothers and sisters that's in the truth. All the elders and apostles that's been teaching and ruling well. Hopefully we part of elect. With that being said, this is your brother Dewapa from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And this lesson was inspired by Elder Malcolm, and he was doing a video called "The KKK is in Every Branch of the Government," and that's not the whole title of the video he was doing, but he ended up saying something about the good ship Jesus in there, and he's mentioned that before. And I have really never really read up on it or really never listened to a video up on it. So it gave me a thought just to look it up. And like I said before, and I'm going to say this, I'm quite sure he's done probably quite a few videos on that, but this was the first time I really, it really never dawned on me to look it up until now. And so hopefully this will be edifying. History is not my thing. History is Elder Malcolm's thing. History is a few other brothers' thing. It just gave me a thought just to look this up because I've heard him mention it before, and I'm hoping it's just edifying to other brothers and sisters. So with that, this is the Black Citizen, the good ship Jesus, the beginning of the slave trade. I'm gonna read all this, and then I have another little article I want to show. Jesus of Lubeck, name of the first slave ship to grace the Americas. What has come to be referred to as the good ship Jesus was in fact Jesus Lubeck, a 700-ton ship purchased by King Henry VIII from the Hanseatic League, a merchants' alliance between the cities of Hamburg and Lubeck in Germany. 20 years after its purchase, the ship in disrepair was lent to Sir John Hawkins by Queen Elizabeth. Hawkins, a cousin of Sir Francis Drake, was granted permission from Queen Elizabeth for his first voyage into 1562. In 1562, he was allowed to carry Africans to Americas with their own free consent, and he agreed to this condition. Hawkins had a reputation for being a religious man who required his crew to serve God daily and to love one another. Sir Francis Drake accompanied Hawkins on this voyage and subsequent others. Drake was himself devoutly religious. Service was held on board twice a day. Off the coast of Africa near Sierra Leone, Hawkins captured 300 to 500 slaves, mostly by plundering Portuguese ships, but also through violence and subterfuge, promising Africans free land and riches in the New World. He sold most of the slaves in what is now known as the Dominican Republic. He returned home with a profit and ships laden with ivory, hides, and sugar. Thus began the slave trade. So here it is with the promise of free lands and riches. He sold them into slavery, the Israelites, This is what these devils do, And if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, and you read down, from verse 64 and 68, it says we'll be going into a land by ships, and this is part of it. But the point that I really want to sit up here and make, I'll make that point in a minute. Here it is. I'm going to sit up here and read the other part. This is the Wikipedia. Jesus of Lubeck was a carrack built in free city of Lubeck in the early 16th century. Around 1540, the ship, which had mostly been used for representative purpose, was acquired by Henry VIII, the King of England, to augment his fleet. The ship saw action during the French invasion of the Isle of Wight in 1545. She, along with Samson, was used in an unsuccessful attempt to raise Henry VIII's flagship, Mary Rose, after she foundered during the Battle of the Sully. She was later chartered to a group of merchants in 1563 by Queen Elizabeth. Jesus of Lubeck became involved in the Atlantic slave trade and smuggling under John Hawkins, who organized 4 voyages to West Africa and the West Indies between 1562 and 1568. And that's the point I want to sit up here and get on that. But the whole point I want to sit up here and say is that here it is, the good ship Jesus. Like I said before, Elder Malcolm has mentioned this before, and this is what you get, man. Here it is, he promised the so-called Israelites, the Israelites over there, the so-called blacks. He promised them free riches and all this other stuff in other lands, and what ended up happening, he ended up selling them into slavery, But the point I want to sit up here and get here, man, just listening to Elder Malcolm when he said this, it just gave me the thought to look this up. And like I said before, I'm quite sure he did videos on this before, you know, but I've never looked at them. But the whole point of the matter is sometimes, brothers, we got to sit up here and look up things for ourselves, man. Sometimes a elder might say something, or another brother might say something, apostle might say something, and you might be like, man, I've heard him say it, but I've never really seen a video on it. Hey, sometimes, brother, it just gives you that thought to just doing it yourself, man. It sharpens your mind. It makes you think. So with that, I just hope I'm finna get a few scriptures. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure affliction, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. And that's the whole point I want to get. We make full proof of thy ministry. We look up our words in dictionaries. We look up the etymology of words because Eli's doing wordplay. There are words that don't mean the same as they mean in the Bible. So Eli fucking around with the words. So you look them up so you can get the right definition. And that's what it means to make. You make full proof of thy ministry, man. You go and look up things in encyclopedias. You look up things on maps. So when people ask you questions, you can show them. You can show them things, man, that go along right with the scriptures. And with that, I'm gonna sit up here and get 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And that's the study to show thyself approved, man. Here it is when you take the time to look up things, to find things for yourself, man. Sometimes it's just a beautiful thing. It shows a lot, man. It shows you doing something. It shows you sitting up here taking the time to do something for yourself. And like I said before, I know Elder Malcolm has made videos about this before, but doing it, I've never seen the videos, but the thing was, I never really thought about looking it up until now. I looked up the video and I was like, wow, man, let me just look this up, man. I've heard him mention it quite a few times. So to the brothers and sisters who might not know about the good ship Jesus, who might not ever heard of Jesus of Lubeck, hopefully this video is edifying to you. It was just something through the spirit, and it was just something to do because I was listening to the elder, and it just gave me, it just put something on my mind to do. So with that, like I said before, I hope it was edifying. I like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Allow respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. With that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I like to say Kwam Yasharella and a ball. Shalom.